Canty, there was a play in this game where Greg Williams had a linebacker covering Hollywood Brown 45 yards down the field. That ended in a pass interference in the end zone. And then what is going on this play? How does he get this wide open?
I don't know how the Ravens had so many wide open receivers, especially in the second half of that game. Lamar Jackson also missed a throw to Mark Andrews that was wide open.
All right, into the NBA now. Mavericks, Pistons playing in Mexico. Luka Doncic with a great behind-the-back pass to Dwight Powell for the slam.
Dusty, go ahead and fact-check this for me. I'm pretty sure Luka becomes the first 40-point triple-double on Mexican soil in NBA history. Add that to the list of accomplishments for my adult Slovenian son. Luka just killing the game right now. Just killing it. So much fun.
Is he a top 20 player already?
No, he's a top 10 player already.
More from the Mavs. Kristaps driving, throwing it down hard over Andre Drummond.
Kristaps, more of that. Less of your 7'3" three-point attempts, and more of this. Pump fake, put the ball on the ground, and get to the rack. And boom on Drummond. This is what I like to see from you, Kristaps. If he can elevate, then they become dangerous.
Nick, you're talking about a 7'3" guy that can put it on the floor and drive to the rim. That's
Here we go. Australian Pro League, because why not? Scott Machado getting free with the nice spin move, then lobs one up to Cam Oliver.
Oh, how about this?
It's a little and one mixtape action right there, ain't it?
Oh, I like that. I like everything about that. The reverse spin move, and then the lob.
Yeah, he put a little mustard on that hot dog right there. That's impressive.
That is beautiful.
That was adorable. All right, moving on. Sunday, Fox, 4:25 p.m. We got a big game for you. Rams in Dallas to face the Cowboys. Could be a get-right game for Dallas if they can get out of their own way. Rams have won 2 straight. Cowboys have lost 3 straight. Dak Prescott knows just how important this game is for his team.
I mean, we got to get a win. Yeah, we've got to get a win, and we got to play well. Simple as that. I mean, yeah, according to the playoffs and all that, it doesn't, I guess. But if we want to give ourselves a chance to win, and to win as we finish this season out, and to win in that tournament as you get there, you've got to get momentum going. And momentum is something serious. We can get it on our side. This has been a streaky team in years. So you got to get that first one to get the second one. That's kind of just the mindset of focus on the day. Let's focus on now. Let's focus on this week. I'm not worried about the rest, and we will when that comes.
A lot of words out of Dak there. What do you want to see, Chris Canty, from the Cowboys to make you believe they can go on a deep playoff run? Is there anything they can do to make you believe that?
Well, a good place to start is being able to beat a team with a winning record. So far, they're 0-for with teams above 500. And, you know, the Los Angeles Rams present an opportunity for the Cowboys to do that in their building in Arlington this Sunday. So I guess that's what I'm looking for them to be able to put together a complete performance top to bottom in this game. But, Nick, as bad as the Dallas Cowboys have been playing, losing 3 straight, being 6-7, second week of December, this is still not a game that the Cowboys have to win.
And that's a key point. That is a key point.
This is a game that the Rams have to win. For them, the playoffs have already started now. Good on them. They've won 3 of the last 4. But the Cowboys, because the Eagles are 6-7 and the Cowboys beat the Eagles earlier in Dallas, it's a situation where all they have to do is be able to go on the road in Week 16, beat the Eagles in Philadelphia, and then beat the Washington Redskins. If they can do that, they're going to be NFC East champs. Now, the Los Angeles Rams don't have that luxury. They're chasing the Minnesota Vikings for that second wild card in the NFC. And I really look at it as a situation where they have to win out, and they need some help from the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to need them to lose 1 of 3 games. I think they're on the road against the Chargers, and then they've got division opponents. They got the Bears and the Packers. So we'll see what happens with that. But, I mean, right now for the Dallas Cowboys, you just want to see a solid performance from that team top to bottom. Offense, defense, special teams, complementing one another. But Nick, I don't have any evidence that they're going to be able to do that this Sunday.
I totally agree with you. I think your point that the Cowboys don't need this game is a critical one. They can't improve whether they win the division at 7-9 or at 9-7. They're the 4 seed either way. All that matters to them is the Eagles game, and then the Washington game is more important than the Rams game, because if they end up splitting with the Eagles, it's about divisional records, so tiebreakers and things like that. And if you know that, and if I know that, they know that. And this is not a Cowboys team that, to me, has shown any ability where if they know this game is not quite as important, but doesn't matter, every game just as important, we're going to focus on the Patriot mantra of on to Cincinnati. Cowboys don't have, to me, that mental fortitude. They haven't shown it. So I do think it's important that they don't need the game as far as how I expect them to play. But to answer your question, Jenna, Cowboys can win this game 45-0. They won't, but if they win this game, they could win this game 45-0. And I would not believe they are Super Bowl contenders. You are what you are through the first 13 games of the season. It might be a mirage through 4 weeks. Maybe it's a mirage through 8 weeks. And I know last year the Cowboys argued, well, look at who we were the final 8 weeks of the season. Yeah, understand. I get it. But you also, in the playoffs, showed you weren't exactly who you were the final 8 weeks of the season when you struggled in the first round against a Seattle team that had no game plan offensively whatsoever and then got beat handily by the Los Angeles Rams. So I do not believe in this Cowboys team. One game against a Rams team that I also think is a good but not far from a great team is not going to change my opinion of it. And I don't think what we're going to see from the Cowboys, what you see from teams at times when they know their coach is on the hot seat, which is, let's win this. Let's show the world we still love our coach. Let's show the world we got Jason Garrett's back. They've had the opportunity for that since the Patriots game, because that's when that's when Jerry Jones put the real pressure on Jason Garrett. And how did they respond the next 2 weeks? By folding in games against inferior competition, allegedly inferior competition, where they had 7-0 leads. So, no, I don't believe the Dallas Cowboys all of a sudden are going to put it together and look like the team we thought they could be in September.
Kenny, what do you think the message has been or is to players this week in that Dallas locker room? What do you think that the consensus is with what the management and what coaches and everything is saying to these guys before they lead up to the Sunday's game?
Well, the players are just trying to figure out why we can't win with all the talent that we have on this roster. Coming into this year, we said it, the Dallas Cowboys are one of the most talented teams in the National Football League. So why are they underachieving? Why are we sitting here at week 15 with them having a sub-500 record? Well, the only thing that you can point to is the coach. I mean, at some point, if your team is not playing up to the expectations, you have to look at coaching and seeing whether or not Jason Garrett is putting his players routinely in positions to be able to do what they do best. And the Cowboys, for whatever reason, haven't executed. Now, I hate to put all of this at the feet of the head coach, but that's where you have to start, Nick. It has to start with Jason Garrett. And so with Jerry Jones having Jason come into the season as a lame duck coach, you were trying to figure out whether or not this team would be able to respond and answer the question of whether or not Jason Garrett could coach his team at the highest levels, get into the playoffs and win some playoff games and compete for championships. And to this point in this season, we don't have anything tangible to point to say that Jason Garrett is capable of doing that. This team is 0-6 against teams that are over 500. When you get to the playoffs, you're going to be playing against teams with a winning record. So I just don't see the Dallas Cowboys as that team. And we have to point to Jason Garrett as the reason why this team hasn't realized expectations.
And Jason Garrett deserves the lion's share of the blame, and he's going to get fired at the end of the year. But it also should be noted the last few weeks that Dak Prescott MVP contender season has gone off the rails a bit. Scored 9 points against the Patriots, and I understand the Patriots are an extraordinary defense. You got up 7-0 on Buffalo, the offense goes into hibernation. You get up 7-0 on Chicago, the offense goes into hibernation. That's problematic. Dak against teams with a winning record this year, 8 touchdowns, 7 picks, and a passer rating below 85. Going into this year, I had the Cowboys missing the playoffs, despite all the talent, because I didn't believe in the coach and I didn't believe in the quarterback. Now, Dak has been better than I thought he would be going into this season over the course of the entire season. But the last few weeks, he has not been. He needs to play his best game against a good team. People